my name is Tiffy Star Child for Black Nerd Problems, and we are going to get right into ranking these Airbenders from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. And listen, look, ain't nobody asked for these Airbenders to be next. I am fully aware that I synced the comments. Y'all want Firebenders, and I want to rank the Firebenders, but there's a lot of them, and I need more time. I just need more time, and it's also very hard. It's hard. That is probably the one I'm having the most trouble with, so we're gonna do Firebenders last. Let's go. We are going to rank these Airbenders, and just as a reminder, we are only going from the television series Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, so not any of the graphic novels. I'm also not including the avatars on these lists, which seems really unfair in the case of the Airbenders because ain't a whole lot of Airbenders left. And in the other videos, it was very much like we're only gonna focus on the relevant benders because there's so many. That is not the case here. Dang near everybody is invited. So as always, we're gonna start with honorable mentions, and that is Monk GYATSO, who was like Aang's adopted monk father. Aang says that he was the best airbender in the world for the time, and we also know that Monk GYATSO was friends with Avatar Roku when Roku was completing his Avatar training. And although we don't see GYATSO do any real combative airbending, not even in flashbacks, we do see when the gang goes to visit the Southern Air Temple and they find GYATSO's remains, he got, but not before he collected several Fire Nation bodies, okay? Bing, bing, bop. So at the bottom of our actual list is OPAL BEIFONG at number 7, and it feels wrong to put a BEIFONG at the bottom of any list, but it's okay because earthbending was not baby girl's gift. She's one of the ones that gained airbending abilities after the harmonic convergence in book 2. But can you imagine though, like being Toph BEIFONG's granddaughter and you yourself cannot move the earth? I still wouldn't be silent about it though. Like, please don't. My granny built this capital. She got statues here, 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 and here. My mama owns this town thing. I am rich. I wouldn't say that. I would think it though. But OPAL does train hard. She does some pretty dope stuff with her airbending, so we love to see it. Next we have Kai at number 6, and he's another regular person that gains airbending abilities after the harmonic convergence. And Kai is obviously also super new to airbending, but he picks it up very quickly, and he's scrappy and kind of scampy, like Aladdin. Like, I feel like he was already pretty dope and probably went on to do great things. Next is number 5, Aang's own son, his eldest son, BUMI. Y'all, I am so happy for BUMI because that had to be hard. It had to be so hard to be the son of the Avatar, the last airbender in existence, and you yourself can't airbend. And I know that it was really kind of messed up how they portrayed Aang as this very disappointing father. But even if Aang had made every decision correctly as a father, imagine that moment. Imagine the anticipation, just knowing that you are the last of your people. Your wife has given you a beautiful, healthy son that you love with all of your heart, and as you're watching him grow, you're just waiting to see if any airbending abilities will emerge because you know that for you, it is the last hope. I do not doubt Aang's love for BUMI, but I also feel like no matter how they were just like, hey, it's okay, you know, there are a lot of great ways to be a great person in this world. BUMI felt the weight of that, just knowing that you was your daddy's disappointment. And I love that for BUMI's character, he still worked really hard to become someone who he believed would have made his father proud. Like, he wanted to help people. He wanted to make a difference, even without airbending abilities. So for me, BUMI getting the ability to airbend was just like, it was the cherry on top. It was something that he very much deserved, and I was really happy to see that for his character. Why can't I count? Why are these numbers not numbering? The next one is another descendant of Aang, and that's Tenzin's daughter, JINORA. Did y'all cry at her ceremony when she got her master airbender tattoos and they took her hood down and she was bald and she looked just like Aang? My heart, I wasn't ready. I love JINORA because she is totally an airbending prodigy. Did kind of feel bad for Tenzin because as much as he wanted and craved that connection to the spirit world like Aang, it was JINORA that had it naturally. And I think that makes her very, very powerful. And she was very confident in her ability. When people wanted to discredit her because she's so young, she was like, no, this is what I need to do. This is how I can help. I'm kind of the only one that can do it. So peace out, Dad. So this next number up on the list is Tenzin, and y'all, like, look, listen, I would have never missed a lesson, would have showed up early, and I would have left late. I'd have submitted extra credit, I'd have submitted Period. Why your man so stressed, Pima? She ain't doing it right. Are those arrows? I like tattoos a lot. Where they end at? What were we talking about? What happened to the plot of the video? So imagine the pressure for Tenzin being the youngest child of the Avatar and the only one that could airbend. And then when Aang dies at the biological age of 66, and I understand that it's because of the 100 years that he spent in the ice that drained his life energy. I don't care. I think it's some bullshit. But now Tenzin is the last airbender. That's wild. And it was really tempting to give Tenzin that #1 spot because he had Zahir in that fight at the Air Temple before the other members of the Red Lotus stepped in to help after they dealt with Aang's other useless children. And I'm mainly talking about you, Kaya. Tenzin was whipping that ass. But y'all, that #1 spot does go to Zahir himself. And if I was Tenzin, I would absolutely feel some type of way about it. Again, the whole child of the Avatar. Aang died in 53. JINORA was born in 60, but we don't know when her powers emerged. So he was the only airbender in existence for at least 7 years. All them credentials to your name, and some tourist gets access to the spirit world before you do and gets the ability of flight and is the first airbender to do that in over 4,000 years. I would be sick to my stomach. I would combust. And I understand that, you know, that's because Tenzin was out there making babies and Zahir was very busy in prison studying ancient airbending teaching. And who am I to knock somebody else's hyperfixation? I'm just saying I wouldn't let that happen to me. Oh my God, the violence. That cannot be me. That fight would have been personal as hell. Like, yes, I understand that you showed up at the safe haven of my people and kidnapped my entire family and then held us as ransom to try to bait the Avatar so you could kidnap her, even though I love her like my own child. But you made me embarrass my daddy's name, and that's why you gotta die. I think I've done a lot of growing and maturing and healing in my life, but I would 100% let that bitterness consume me. But Zahir, and I think I'm behaving very well because I think I've reached the limit of thirst for one video. The limit does not exist. Add him to the list then, Benders. I would let bend me. Yes, I will meet you in the spirit woods. Sit with you by this tree. I will let you train me. Teach me better than my own mentor did. Spit, Senpai, I am listening. Hey, Siri? Set a reminder to set a therapy appointment tomorrow.
Okay, your reminder is set for tomorrow.
At least I'm aware. But that's it. That is everybody. That is every airbender worth mentioning. I am kidding. I would not do that to y'all. I know that he is a fan favorite and I would not leave him off this list despite my personal feelings about this character. But I know y'all want to see Doll, who is another airbending trainee that gets his abilities after the harmonic convergence. He's the one that Tenzin shaves and he's the only one that ends up getting a bald head during their training. And he's still kind of too new for me to really rank him because he's just learning. He's not terribly great at it, but that moment where he avoided capture because he felt that tingle on the back of his bald head, that meant something. I think that was a moment. That was a moment. And that's all I've got for this video. Let me know what you think of these rankings in the comments. And next week, we are wrapping up these rankings with the Firebenders. I hope to see you here. Please make sure that you are following Black Nerd Problems. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications. Also, make sure that you are following me, Tiffy Starchild, across social media. Thank you so much, y'all. I'll see you next time.